are live. And we are live.
It's coming. It's going through. Your stream will be shortly. You can close this window.
So let pop up on
YouTube
on your channel here in a second.
I think we're good. We should be live right this moment. The connection is excellent. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there watching us in YouTube land? Yes, we have some people. Mr. OMFJMH, Nate Peterson, Tommy Stevenson. What's up, guys? We're trying something a little different. I got shit all kinds of goofy.
The connection is excellent.
Oh, you have to mute your... Yeah, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
Hey, Jessica. What's up, David? So, like I said last week, guys, every other Tuesday for now, we're going to do a different kind of show. Corey is not here tonight. He had something to do with his daughter. Otherwise, he would be here with us as well. But, I guess in a nutshell, hey, Mr. Steve, let me sit down here and run my mouth.
Hey, Gil, how are you?
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop calling him Mr. Steve.
I busted him earlier for that.
Yeah, it's just kind of, a respect factor. He's older than me. That's all. It's not a, but me, Steve, and Corey DeSormo, as Hosier on here, every other Tuesday, we are going to start concentrating on the fundamental basics of HVAC. A lot of people have reached out to me, and you guys know that I do a lot of sales-oriented stuff, business-oriented stuff, things with helping small business owners, stuff like that. We want to... Oh, he said there's a bad echo. Let me see. Let's see what the echo is. Oh, actually, hold on, guys. It's probably me. Hold on a second. I have to, there you go. You're, let me know if you guys still hear that. I forgot I had to mute my mic on.
Where did he go? Where did he go?
Can you still hear me?
Hey, Jessica. David.
Can you, oh,
we are hearing double.
Yeah.
Double me.
Is it double just Mr. Steve, or is it, just when he talks? Okay, so then I probably need to...
How about now?
What's that? All right, it's only when you talk. I'm trying to figure out how...
How is that now?
I don't know. Let me... What's up, everybody? Sorry. Trying to switch to some different programs, trying to do some different things. Me and Adam from Overtime been talking all week, just trying to do some of these different things and trying to make it work. Let me I'm trying to see what I can.
If I turned off my YouTube, see if that still hear me double.
It's good.
I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat anymore.
Oh, they said it's good now, so I'm not sure what happened.
Okay. My phone was picking me up.
Oh. All right, so obviously we're going to try to, get this better as we go. I'm trying to change some things around, and I kind of picked a hell of a night to do it. So it is what it is, but the whole plan is if this show takes off, then we'll do it its own night. It's still, nope, they say it's still double for you.
I do not know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
My phone is off.
Skype. Let me see if I can do something here. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to see if I can do something here to help it. I don't know. don't think any of these are going to do anything. Yeah, hold on. No, I don't have anything. You only have one microphone turned on, right, Mr. Steve? Like, it's only the one you're using?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's even you. I don't know if maybe I'm bringing in your... Hold on a second here. Let me see. No, that's not going to be it. That's audio. Desktop audio. Yeah, I can't even do that. Damn it, guys. I'm trying to... Maybe the information Steve is going to give is going to be so good we can hear it twice.
There you go.
The sad part is I don't think it's Mr. Steve's fault though. I really it's got to be something that I have set up wrong. So I'm not going to put that on him. All right. So I'm not sure. It's all quiet. Can you close him out and bring him back in? No, because it's really how I have him brought in right now is not easy. So, it's not that simple. I'm not sure what I just did. I put a smiley face on top of him.
I'm playing.
Oh, let me see. Hold call, audio and video settings. Bum.
I'm showing one mic.
Keep talking, Mr. Steve.
Actually adjust microphone. Automatically adjust microphone settings. And did that make me go away, or is that even better? We have a live audience participating in the setup of the system. Y'all are blessed.
What's up, rookie? Sorry, guys. You guys can help us, but we're gonna talk about some things though. Real fast while we're messing with some stuff. What I was saying earlier. Every other Tuesday, me, Steve, and Corey DeSormo, we're gonna do all technical. We want to start going over different things when it comes to basics. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask me to talk about some more technical things, which I would love to talk about. I want to talk about. What's up, Zach? So I think this is going to be good for the both of us. I think it's going to be, fun for all of us. And we have different levels of experience. I mean, you got, Mr. Steve here, who's been doing this kind of stuff 32 years. So to have his perspective, with somebody who's been in the trade that long, me, I've done all different types. I've done industrial, commercial, refrigeration, kitchen equipment. I've done a couple different aspects. I'm almost 20 years in the trade. Then we have Corey, who's like 5 or 6 years in the trade, but he's a very, very smart tech. Don't let the number of years fool you. And he's in Canada. So, just different aspects. And start talking about whether it's how to wire a thermostat, the parts that are supposed to be on a condensing unit. Like, we're going to really, really start at the basics and dumb it down at the beginning. And it's something that we really, really want to do, and a lot of people have been asking for. So that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to pick different topics, and then we want you guys to call in and talk about some things that, some issues that you run into. If there's some newbies in here asking questions, feel free to answer it. And if you guys see that we all know that if you get one of those questions from, it's a homeowner or something by the way they ask a question. If you don't want to answer, that's up to you. I understand. But just really, really want to try to get on the technical side to try to help people. So a mic is picking up his transmission. Jose Santos said a mic is picking up your transmission. So, yeah. You might know, Zach. I mean, you're good at all this stuff. I have everything set up through Streamlabs OBS, but for some reason we're hearing Mr. Steve twice. I don't, I'm not sure why. I got all of his stuff set up, and I think I have everything on my end. What's up, Bill? Billy Bill? At least I think I have everything set up okay. Sorry, I'm gonna try something again. When we have issues like that, it just pisses me off. So I'm gonna see if I can network bandwidth on the highest. Adds filter to this source. Latency. Nope, that brings me up. That's you again. Let's see if this one works. Let's see. Go ahead and talk, Mr. Steve.
All right. Hello. All right. Hello. Is there an echo? Chat it up. Let us know.
That makes him Mr. Mister.
Mister.
Bill, Curious HVAC said, Steve, it looks like you stumbled onto a set of Storage Wars. Zach, I am somebody's dad. Let me know, guys. Is it still the this sucks. I don't want to concentrate on that. That wasn't the point of this, but I did think that there was shit, it's still there. All right. So I'm not sure.
Microphone while you talk. Let's see if that does anything.
Yeah. I don't know what to. I'm not sure what to change yet. I'll have to mess with it. Okay, David. Yeah, my audio. I'm just trying to think if I'm bringing him in twice. Let me try this. Mr. Steve, go ahead and talk.
Hello. Is there an echo? Am I repeating myself?
Is there still an echo? Can you still hear him? But the only thing is, if I do that, then I can't hear you. He said, Steve, do you know sign language? Yeah, that's not going to work because then I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get this. It's all Hosier's fault. Yeah, God damn it, Hosier. We'll get it figured out. Anyway, that is the plan. So I won't stay on here. We won't stay on here all night if it's all messed up. So next week it'll be me and Kelly again. Me and Kelly are gonna have some guests come on with us in like a month of now. Oh, so there was no echo. Okay, so the echo is coming. All right, hold on. I might be able to fix this then. So I forgot that they're delayed. So if they're delayed and they're saying, audio, video, microphone, speakers. Go ahead and talk, Mr. Steve.
I have switched microphones. I'm using my webcam microphone now. Does that make any difference?
I'll be honest, Mr. Steve.
Does it sound any better?
I really don't. I don't think it's you. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think it's you.
How about now?
I think it's me.
Everybody blame it on Gil.
Yeah, I was just switching things around, Scott. You guys said it's good now?
All right. That is the microphone from my webcam. I turned this one off.
Yeah, so that's probably what it was then. We were probably picking up you twice between your webcam microphone and the other microphone.
Well, I had the webcam mic off.
That's weird.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right, anyway, it's good now? You guys can hear us without a whole bunch of different sounds? Yes, okay. Thank you. You can all eat shit.
That's what this is all about. It's the basics of learning.
Yeah.
We're starting at the bottom, working our way up.
Let me turn you up a little bit. All right, well, I guess what's something, tonight we're just kind of lay it out, but what's something that you want to talk about tonight, Mr. Steve? What's something, we have plenty of shows that we're going to talk about, but what is a topic that you want to address tonight?
Well, I've noticed throughout the whole social media, there's been a lot of talk on getting good technicians. There's a lack of good technicians in the field that are coming through, and I've done some training with some guys straight out of school, and I don't know what they're doing. It's almost like they're just rushing them through the basics, just through the books, and letting them take a test and they get their certificate, and they say, okay, here we go, and we get out in the field, and they really struggle. I don't want to say they don't know anything. They know what they've been taught, and it just got rushed through as a test. So that's kind of where I've always had a passion for teaching. I've been teaching or training, teaching, whatever you want to call it. I've been in supervisor positions, and just always wanted to help the younger group come up. Once they start getting up into the 6, 7, 8 year mark, you pretty much got it down. But watching other shows, I see a lot of people who don't know what superheat is. Don't know how to use it. Okay, yeah, I know. Take a temperature here, and let's see what our saturation is, and they can measure it, but they don't know how to use it as a troubleshooting guide. And the same with subcooling. So these are the kind of basics that I've really enjoyed teaching. I've always loved the air conditioning side or the refrigerant side of things. As far as superheat, subcooling, troubleshooting, I've never been a refrigeration guy, but there's really not a whole lot of difference between there is no difference between the refrigeration circuit and the air conditioning circuit. They may use some different controls that we don't use in the residential, but like I said, I've only done residential. That's all I've ever done. I've never done any refrigeration, very little commercial. So I always wanted to help teach and train. I used to do some NATE pre-training when I was with a big company years ago, and it was very interesting to train those guys and to see what they didn't know. Is that the right term, Gil?
No, I agree. And just so you know, it wasn't you. You can turn your other microphone on. It was me. I figured out what the echo was.
Does this mic sound okay, or the other one?
No, you sound fine. So just so you know, next time we do this, it wasn't anything you were doing. It was me.
Okay.
Says it's out of sync, but no echo. That's fine. It's because I'm using, I got him going in through my mixer. So you were hearing Skype audio, and you were hearing him come through the mixer at the same time. Hold on. Let me do one thing real fast. But, yeah, my thing is I don't ever want to, I think that I'm a very smart guy when it comes to the trade and things about business and stuff like that, but I don't know everything. I don't ever want to claim to do that, or to come off that way. My thing is, I just think that there's so many guys out there that get ignorant to topics. They don't know what they don't know, but they're not willing to learn it. And rather than learn it, they I see somebody says, whose volume? I got everybody's volume up now, if that helps. I don't know. I don't know. Some of them are saying it's good. No, it's all good. Some of them are saying no, so I'm not sure I'm not sure what the hell you fuckers are talking about.
I'll pick up my mic volume a little bit.
You're fine. I turned you up.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my thing. Like, even in the Facebook group, and I talk to people, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but even like talking about inverters. And I know some people feel different about them, but there's an ignorance to it that people, when they don't know something, it's automatically negative. And that shouldn't be the way. I mean, to me, discussion is a good thing because a discussion creates the thought process. It makes you think about things. And guess what? Even if you're wrong and you lose the argument, guess what? You learn something. If somebody tells me something and I was wrong, hey, I'm the first one to say, damn, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. But I just learned something. And I think that's the problem with people. And that's why I want to go through and start with the basics the way that we were taught, the way I was taught. And hey, maybe we're going to come on here and say some things and you guys are going to be like, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. That's not how you do it. But we need to start using the power of this group, okay? With all these different shows on here, for the most of you core people that you know who you are, this is a very powerful community, okay? And if we use that power in numbers to be able to help other people, I just think it's also, and that's really what I want to try to do. I want to try to open people's minds up to actually think about things they don't know and admit things they don't know. You know, I'm saying a lot, but that's how I was. I thought when I first left my dad in this trade, I thought I knew a lot, and I didn't. I bullshitted my way through stuff, and I promised myself that I didn't want to be that way anymore. And I stuck my nose in the books. I started learning and learning and learning, and then it became addictive. I'm like, oh man, I want to learn more about it. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. And it's I don't know. It's been a vicious cycle. What's up, Juan?
Well, it's a never-ending career. You know, I think if somebody says, okay, I'm ready to get out in the field, I've learned enough, I've been to school, I've helped some guys install, I've done some new construction, I've done some change outs, I've done some startups, I'm good. And they freeze right there because that's how they were taught by somebody else. You know, we've all been taught bad things by people. And not that they thought it was bad, that's the way they were taught. It's a generational thing. And I know that I had a hard time adjusting to superheat not being 10 degrees. When I was in school, it was 10 degrees. Boom. If it was a TXV, and now all of a sudden, even on these train coils, it has a sticker right on the coil that it's going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees, 13 to 20. It's like, why? You know, and you just have to accept it because that's the way they designed it. And subcooling, you know, I went to a little bit of history about me. I hated high school. I went to my counselor. And it's like, you got to do something. I'd already taken all the electives. I've taken shop. I've taken the brazing. I've taken wood shop. I took metal shop. I took the lawnmower shop, the small mechanics. I took all that stuff. I ran out of electives before I graduated. And so I hated it. So I went to my counselor and said, you know, what do we got to do? I was not a good student. And we had a occupation education center in the Atlanta area that you could go to your home school for math, English, and science and go over to another facility. And it was a trade school. It was a 2-year trade school in the high school level. So the only class that was open was a class called electromechanical. And this is what I do now. You know, and we all do it. We deal with electricity, we deal with fans, we deal with blades, we deal everything mechanical, we deal with plumbing. This industry is so unbelievable in what we all do. And the neat thing about it is we all do something different. We can all learn from everybody. I watch HVACR videos. I haven't ever done refrigeration, and I learned so much by watching him. The overtime guys. I don't do commercial, I don't do boilers, but I learn so much from them. And I get out there and I ask questions sometimes. It's like, hey, what about this? What about that? And they don't look at me and say, Why doesn't he know that? And that's where we need to draw the line. I think that's where we want to go with all this. Is there is no question that is going to be brushed off the table. This is an uncensored show. Whatever you've got, I want the new guys to come in, the guys that are still in trade school. When I first started teaching, I say teaching because I never taught officially or earned any money. I love the air conditioning cycle. I jumped into superheat and subcooling and did a nice class. Everybody learned something, and I called my buddy up at Train Distribution, who was the Train guy here in the Atlanta, and said, hey Bill, man, I started training the guys today, and I started on superheat and subcool. Now he's an old Navy guy, and he said, you stupid dumbass. I learned something right there with something I learned in school, but never applied it to the new generation, is airflow. He said, you have to start with airflow. You go back, you apologize to those guys, and you say, don't forget what I told you, but we're going to take a step back, and we're going to start with airflow, because if the airflow is wrong, you can still make your gauges say what you want them to. So that was a big eye-opening thing to me, and that was so basic. So basic. I kind of jumped ahead of myself. After I did the high school level thing, I went to North Georgia Technical College up in Clarksville, Georgia, and did 2.5 years up there. So I already had 4.5 years of schooling before I even jumped in a service van. And who knew everything? Yeah.
That's how it always is.
Yeah, and I was put in my place so many times, but I was not afraid to ask questions. I asked, and the guys knew that I was eager to learn, and they would answer these questions. They would pull me aside. They would hold classes after work. They would go, the owner of the company would open up the doors and let the new guys come in and let a senior tech train them. So that's what this is all about. We're going to talk technical. We're going to talk how to grow in your career, mentally, physically. What avenues is going to be best for you. I've got some friends who all they want to do is maintenance. They could care less about troubleshooting. They are so eager to keep a system clean and charge a system properly, flush the drain line, check caps, contactors, tighten everything up, and get on down the road. That's what they love to do, and they're damn good at it.
Yeah, people get so hung up on the title and what you work. One thing that really, really chaps my ass is the whole commercial residential thing that, and it's not all of them, but, I've done every facet in this. I kind of just backed my way into residential, but I like residential. I'm glad that I do it. We do some commercial, but I like residential. I like dealing with people. It fits my personality, but I hate some of these guys in the Facebook group when they talk, as they think as a commercial guy, they talk down to residential guys. This trade is so big that we're all doing the same thing. We're just doing it in a different facet. And sometimes your personality, your skill set, your area, that depends on what side you go into, my dad did commercial, industrial stuff and refrigeration, and kitchen equipment. So that's what I did. And then I kind of moved away. But people ask oh, should I go into the union? I really think a union question is dependent on where you live and how strong the union is. Some areas, they're all union shops. So yeah, you probably got to join the union. Some places the union's probably real weak. So that's not really a global question that you can ask, for everybody. But I just think some of these basics, I guess the point I'm trying to make is these basics that we're going to cover are going to help you no matter what side you're in. Granted, residential, you probably need, more people skills. You need to know more about, airflow and different things like that versus commercial stuff where you're going to be in a lot of roofs. You need to know a lot about wiring. There's going to be more controls. You're going to have to know about controls and stuff like that. But it all still comes down to the sequence of operations. You can't fix something if you don't know how it works. If you don't know what it's supposed to be doing, then how do you know it's not working? So That's really something you got to break it down into basics. And a lot of guys get out of school and they know the theory and stuff like that. And theory is good. You need to know theory. You need to know how something works. Like I just said, you need to know the sequence of operations. But a lot of us who've been in the field, we also know that sometimes once you get in the field, theory goes out the fucking window, you know? Your job is to get this piece of equipment to work and work now. So especially like in the maintenance side, when I did maintenance, we used to have like ovens that looked like Christmas trees because me and my dad were like jumping freaking switches out and shit just because there was a restaurant that needed this oven. So it had to be working. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I just hate the fact in our trade that it's always a dick measuring contest. No offense to the ladies out there, which there's some awesome women in this trade. You know, you got Miss Susie who kicks ass. You got Jessica Egan who kicks ass. There's Coral Whale who's going to come on the podcast. She's a woman who does Gene's Service Tech Secrets program, and she straight fucking kills it. Like she'll go out there and run circles around some of these dudes. I'd put money on it. But my point behind that is why does it always have to be a dick measuring contest where it's always, you know, super tech? Like, I know more than you do. No, bullshit. Fuck you, man. I know everything. I've been doing this shit for 96 years. It's like, dude, you're 25, you know? I don't know why that happens in the trades, why we can't, like, I don't know. Like I brought up the whole discussion thing. I like the discussion, but I feel like there's less and less people nowadays to have the discussion with. Because it always turns into, you know, if I prove somebody wrong, oh, man, fuck you. You think you know everything. No, I don't. I was right and you were wrong. I'm not being an asshole, you know? That's how a discussion works. You got to have facts to back it up. Like people are like, oh, inverters, take that piece of shit out. Okay, or don't sell that. People are never going to get their money back. Okay, that's a vague statement. Show me some facts that prove what you're saying, because everything that I say, I guarantee I can have facts that are going to back up my statement. And it was kind of fun today, just kind of shitting on people in my Facebook group because they kept making statements, and I just kept having something to kind of smack them in the mouth with, just because I've done all these arguments. I used to be them.
Brian did one of his shorts a year or so ago, which was really, and I don't know if anybody out there knows me personally, but I'm not a cocky guy. I'm just laid back. I'm always eager to learn. Never bypass a chance to learn something new. But he did a podcast on it's called The 30-Year Card. And he did not appreciate basically what Gil was just saying, where guys, oh, I've been in the industry for 30 years. You can't tell me anything. Bull.
They could have been doing shit wrong for 30 years.
Exactly. You know, and hey, I've done a lot of things wrong for a lot of years. I just have jumped on the digital bandwagon last year. I mean, I fought it and fought it and fought it and fought it. My manifold gauges and my pocket thermometer, strap it to the suction line, the liquid line, I'm good. You know, how much closer do you need to be? But with today's equipment, you better be damn on the money when you do it, when you commission that system and have the right tools, know how to use the right tools, know how to use your apps that go with your tools, and what are they telling you? You know, and it was such an eye-opening experience last year when I finally jumped on the field piece bandwagon, and it was like, oh my God. So, you know, and I'm teaching myself as I go along. I mean, I get out on Brian's Facebook and I ask questions sometimes. What do y'all think about this? What about this? So don't think that you've been in the industry too long to learn. I'm huge on the basics. I listen to basic podcasts over and over and over, and I understand it more and more. And I'm going to pull out my 30-year card, and Gil already said, you know, I've been doing this 32 years. And don't think that just because you know what superheat and subcooling is, that you understand it fully and how to use it as a diagnostic tool. For instance, today last call I was on today. I won't go into all the details. Ended up as a piston coil, 16 degrees subcooling, 45 degrees superheat, had an 85-degree suction temperature. My amp draw was 4 amps. It should have been pulling around 9. You know, so it's, to me, tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. Does that sound like bad valves to you? Coil was cleaned. I had to clean the coil 3 friggin' times to get the moss out of it. So it was a clean coil inside and out. And just putting all these aspects together, your superheat, your subcooling, your amp draws, your delta T's. Something I learned just a couple of months ago at the end of last summer was that a 65-degree suction line was bad. You know, and I was told, hey, if it's 50 degrees, leave it alone. If it's 60, and I never knew that the manufacturer said never be over 65 degrees. You're going to cook this compressor. Never knew that. So
it's like I said, it's one of them things you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Rookie, he's not using his mic. He's using his webcam mic right now. Try to go back to your other mic, Mr. Steve.
Okay.
Because we got these little whiny people in here who keep bitching.
Okay, we are live.
There we go.
Is that much better? We are here to please.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell him, Zach. It's a webcam mic. Now, apparently, we got a bunch of professional audio guys in here. Everybody else is fine. But, you know, Bill and Rookie sitting there whining like a bunch of nagging old fucking vaginas. Anyway, you sound good, Mr. Steve. Or Steve.
You're teaching us something. We are not too old to be taught.
Yeah.
You know? Okay?
Yeah. No, I know. It's whatever it is, I'll figure it out. Hold on, let me see. Rook, he's using the mic on his webcam. Let's not get the audio. No, he shouldn't have an echo because whatever the echo was, I fixed, so we should be good. I love you, Scott. Yeah, no, I agree with that. One thing I want to, like your diagnosis or whatever about bad valves is when we always say you don't know what you don't know. Hold on, I think we might be a little too hot now. Is like, yes, I think learning superheat and subcooling is very important. But if you don't know what superheat and subcooling are supposed to be, what's the point of knowing what it is? You know what I mean? Like I tell my guys, they're like, "Oh, the superheat is 24." Okay, what's it supposed to be? I don't know. Well, then what does it matter that you know it's 24 if you don't know what it's supposed to be? You know? And guys get so caught up in this new digital era, and you guys know me, I'm a tool whore. I spend a dickload of money on shit that I probably don't need. Shut up, Bill. You shut your damn mouth. I will cut your beard off in your sleep. Yeah, guys get too caught up in the tools. They think that they don't need to know how something works. They can just buy all these fancy tools, and you know that if you don't know how to use them tools, it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You can have this meter that's got all these little clickety clicks and can do all this stuff, but if you don't know how to use it, then what the fuck is the point? And that's what I think guys get caught up. And trust me when I say this, I'm speaking from experience. That used to be me. So I keep looking down. My camera's up there. That used to be me. I used to be the guy that when I first, like I said earlier, when I first left my dad, I thought that I knew so much. I thought that I was king fucking ding-a-ling, and I would leave and I would call my dad on every call. And finally, thank God, thank you, Dad, if he's listening up there, he was like, "Hey, are you going to give me half your check?" And I was like, no. And he was like, "Well, stop fucking calling me. I'm not fixing all your shit." He's like, "You're never going to learn if I have to tell you how to do it." And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because, like I said, that's what made me get my nose in the books and stuff like that. And, but yeah, I think guys, and it's the mentality of the younger generation, people are trying to skip steps. You know what I mean? They're trying to, and somebody who, I'm very good at sales, I love the selling process. I think too many young guys out now, and it's not necessarily their fault either, is these companies are teaching them more about how to sell than teaching them how to fix things. And we've talked about this before, and these kids are going in these houses with they had no plans to fix that system. They were trying to sell a new one before they even walked in the door. And
I worked at one of those companies for 18 years.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a problem now.
And it was amazing. I mean, they actually brought people in from the corporate office in Dallas, Texas. They would fly them in to give us courses on how to speak to customers and let them know the importance of changing their equipment. The necessity of putting the UV bulb, and necessity, not just here's what it can do, but hyping up products to where they almost felt bad if they didn't buy. Putting guilt trips on them. Well, you've got kids in your house. You should really be doing something with the dust in your house. I see you got pets in your homes. You ever thought about the odors that are in your house right now? I hated that.
But that's what they're doing. They're creating classes all about objections, that when the customer says no, that you know how to keep jabbing at them until they do it. I almost miss Beaver. Beaver made a good comment. Learn the old school way first. Understand where those numbers come from and what they mean. I agree, Justin, 100%. And I also agree with what Hosier said down here. An uneducated tech makes more money for a company than an educated tech if you can fix it rather than sell it. And the sad part, yes and no, because if you have a guy who has selling ability but can also fix things, I think that they're still going to be able to generate good revenue. But I understand the comment you mean, Corey. I really do. Hold on, let's see what Zach said. Can't charge a unit without confirming airflow in some way, right? Exactly, Zach. Things like that. That's what I mean, that a lot of guys skip these processes. They'll go out and put their gauges on a unit and they never even went inside. Is the coil dirty? What's the filter look like? Like all these little steps that people just skip over because it's like, oh man, I did 96 calls today, man. I did 96 calls. I got all of them. I changed the capacitor in every one of them. It's just, I don't know. I think
Zach is right, 100%. And this is what this new show is all about, guys. Is, like I said, I got fussed out by the big dog for not starting with airflow. And yes, there's a lot of videos out there, and with the new field piece probes, there's all kind of videos on how to take stack, and I think it's really coming along. But I'm afraid that I don't want to say it's in our niche that we're in this social gathering here in the YouTube and the podcast. I would like to know how many technicians across the U.S. do not listen to podcasts or watch training videos. I know where I work, there's 10 service techs. I think there's like 2 of us, maybe 3, that listen to something on a regular basis. So that's 3 out of 10, but I won't say we're kind of a high-end company. We really pay attention to details. I never knew anything about static pressure until I came to this company 4 years ago. How long I've been doing this? So I've got this giant learning curve that I'm having to adjust to. Combustion analysis, never knew it existed until I started with the company that I'm with 3 years ago.
I might piss people off when I say this because I do combustion analysis, and I do it a lot, But when it comes to combustion analysis on gas furnaces, like when I used to do a lot of oil stuff, like oil, it's very important to do a combustion analysis to be able to set it up, the oxygen to oil mix and all that kind of stuff. But when we're doing gas furnaces, like a 90 plus gas furnace or whatever, the only thing we can really do is adjust the gas pressure. There's no way. I've heard of people putting like ball valves on 90 plus furnaces, like the intake air, to be able to. I think some guys take the combustion analysis too far. Like they think combustion analysis is, how you find a cracked heat exchanger. No, that can give you numbers to say, hey, we have a problem, but that's just one little thing that tells you, hey, I need to look deeper. That doesn't mean, hey, it's cracked, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I don't want to miss this. These guys had good things in here. Corey and Beaver said it. ABCs, airflow before charging. And Zach's right, too. Something so minor that a lot of guys don't do or don't understand. Let me say it that way. Temperature split can confirm airflow roughly in like 5 minutes. And I've always learned 18 to 22 degrees temperature split. Mm-hmm. Is that what you learned? But then guys think, oh man, I got a 28 degree temperature split. This thing is freaking cold. No, man. That's not the way that works. That means there's an issue. I will say that there is some of these higher end systems that get a little bit colder. Like they can get up to like 25, 26 and nothing's wrong with it. But most systems, 18 to 22 is where you need to be at. And if you're above that range, you need to start looking. I mean, do I have an airflow issue? Do I have, is the filter plugged? Start looking at some of the different things. It'd be great to make some like cheat sheet things.
There's something I learned from Jim Bergman last year, I guess, and he and Brian were going at it and he brought up the point that high humidity in a home will not affect your suction pressure. It'll blow your superheat and your delta T out the window.
Want to say it again?
High humidity in a home will not affect your suction pressure. How does refrigerant respond? It responds to temperature. What is the temperature of that humidity? It's the same temperature that it is in the house. Now, the latent heat is going to just destroy your superheat.
No, that makes sense.
T.
I never thought about it that way.
And he said, you get a jug of refrigerant that's sitting in a space that's 80 degrees out in the warehouse, and you put your pressure gauge on it and you see what pressure is in there, and you go outside and put that tank in an 80-degree swimming pool, 100% humidity, right? Is that pressure going to change?
No.
So humidity has no bearing on your suction pressure, but it will destroy your delta T and your superheat.
No, that makes sense. That kind of falls into this. Like, yeah, that kind of falls into this comment. Where'd it go? That Zach just said. Where'd it go? I'm missing Zach's. Where the hell did his comment go?
I can't see the chat, but is Zach schooling us or are we schooling him? That's
No, Zach's been dropping. There's been guys dropping a lot of good facts.
Okay.
Zach, Hosier, Beaver, a bunch of guys dropping some good facts. I just don't want to miss some of these comments. Zach, if your unit has a low charge, you cannot use the air split. Temperature split can be extremely low in humid environments, 10 to 14 degrees. Which he's right. So those are those little things you need to learn about. Your mindset shouldn't be take one read and you're done. Depending on the situation, the application, looking at a bunch of other factors is how you should come to, what your pressures are, what your superheat and subcooling is, what it's supposed to be, what is the temperature in the house, what is the relative humidity, what is the ambient temperature outside, are the coils clean? You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of things that you need to take to build your to pull in this equation to get your final output. It's not just one or two things as much as people think it is. There's a lot of things that come into that. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry. Hosier had a good one too that I don't want to miss.
You missed a live stream, Hosier.
Yeah. No, man. I was setting it up, Hosier, man. You should go do what you gotta do for your daughter anyway, brother.
Yes, without a doubt, family first. And
Yeah.
that's another topic that we're going to have on there is the balance between work and family. I mean, it's huge. My daughter actually wants to come in when we start bringing in guests, and wants to talk about what it's like to have a father as a HVAC technician.
That's it.
She's 26 years old now, and she's given me 2 grandkids. So she's been there, seen that, and she would like to share the effects of daddy not being there.
Hey, I could have my older boys talk about the same thing, but no, that's a good topic. Me and Kelly have done a podcast on that specific topic. On HVAC Uncensored. But yeah, that's a good topic. It's a very important topic.
It is.
Yeah, Hosier, my biggest advice for new techs is you can't know all the answers. Just know where to find them quickly. Amen to that. Let's see. Our buddy, Mr. Gary O'Connor. I do not get podcasts, but I watch the live HVAC talks and other HVACR videos. Mr. Gary, why can't you get the podcast? I mean, they're on a whole bunch of different outlets now. Are you on Facebook? I put all the download links in my Facebook group. Email me if you don't know. I want you to be able to get to them. Let's see. Remember I was talking to you earlier? This is Juan, the air conditioning guy I was talking about, who has, his installs look mwah.
He was bragging on you today.
Yeah. See, I was talking about you, Juan. I had a unit with a 15-degree delta today. Little return. They only wanted refrigerant leak repaired. Replaced evap coil. They didn't want to reinstall the system in the attic to fix problems. Oh, talking about a dumb customer. Temp split will be in 18 to 20 range at living conditions 75 to 50%. This discussion reminds I really need to brush up on my psychometrics. Yeah, Bill, you do.
Wow. That's my next thing to start studying. I listened to a couple here the last couple of weeks, and I get 0.1% every time I listen to psychometrics. So it's probably going to take me 1,000 years to figure it out. But there's guys out there, and it's their passion. I mean, and they can teach us a lot. And I firmly believe that if we can grasp that it will help all of our troubleshootings, issues, and concerns. But once again, that's getting up there. I don't know that psychometrics is basics. I don't think it is. Maybe somebody out there says it is, and if it is, please explain it to me.
I don't think that it's basics. As far as psychometrics, I agree. I wouldn't consider that basics. Sorry. What'd you say? Jessica, I like to listen to your podcast, Gil, but I have to make sure I have the headphones on. It's definitely uncensored. LOL. I've actually been getting pretty good with the language, Jessica. The one coming out this week, in case you guys did not see, and let me just kind of say this real fast. Next week we're coming out. It's going to be, her name is Madeline. She is a growth expert for Service Titan. So you guys know that we've promoted a couple of CRMs on here. We started out with House Call Pro, and I stopped messing with them, and then I met Thermogrid down at HR, and I started, working with them. And I have nothing bad to say about all those companies. So if you're using them or if you're looking for a company, a CRM for your company, definitely check them out. But in all my research and stuff like that, Service Titan has been the best. Everybody has told me the best. They're the most expensive, but they're the best CRM on the market. And after looking more, they're not really that much more expensive. So we are now sponsored by Service Titan. Me worked that out and hashed the deal out yesterday. So we have dropped ThermoGrid, and Service Titan is now officially a sponsor of the podcast. And it makes me feel better because everyone knows that me and Kelly are using Service Titan. And like I said before, not that I don't think ThermoGrid is a good product, because they have some things that I think they do better than Service Titan. But it's kind of hard for me to tell somebody to use a product that I'm not using, you know? So Kelly just went, he was with Service Titan, left and came back. So, yes. So if you see that, I just want you guys to know the roundabout how that happened. Let me stop that. Jessica, it is a difficult transition. Just so you know, write down any questions that you have. What's up, Adam? Probably in we're going to plan it at the end of May or the first week of June. And we are going to have some live experts from Service Titan. We are going to do a live podcast with them on the YouTube channel, where you guys are going to be able to ask any questions. If you're currently using them and you have questions, they'll answer it for you. If you're interested in using them, then you'll be able to, ask questions about why you should use them versus somebody else and stuff like that. So it's going to be very awesome. When we get the exact date locked up, I will let you all know. We're almost at an hour there.
Yep.
Mr.
Sorry we started late, folks, but
yeah,
it's a basic startup, so sometimes it takes a little tweaking to get us up. But we're here, and we're glad everybody joined us. One thing I would like to say, y'all that are in this every week, if you know any guys or gals that are starting, please bring them on in. Something I really want to do, and I've talked to Gil and Corey, is that I feel it's important to get the new guys involved in what we're doing here, getting them to call in, to dummy down that nervousness. If they can call in and talk to us or throw questions in the chat and get comfortable at doing this, I think it's just going to help them that much more in the field. Come on strong. Hopefully we'll be able to pull some video up. You can video in, or if they don't want to video themselves, just a phone in with questions. This is what it's all about, guys. This is we're not going to hold anybody responsible for what they don't know, because it is a step-by-step process, and I'm still learning.
Well, plus, and another thing is guys can do is if you want to call in and you want to be anonymous, as far as you don't want us to know who you are, if you don't want to give us your name, that's fine. If some of you want to call in and you want to ask a question, but maybe you're embarrassed about, you don't want anyone to say anything to you or whatever, which first and foremost, you don't need to be embarrassed about any question, okay? But if that's what your issue is, you don't have to say your name when you call in. You can call in and ask your question or speak your mind and hang up, and then we'll answer it on the air. I don't want any of you to ever be afraid to call in. I feel like a lot of people, like the giveaways and stuff like that, people would call in, but I don't ever want people to be afraid to call in and ask a question, man. That's why we have this. And if you call in and ask a question and we can't answer it, guess what? We will find out who can.
We will. Without a doubt. Yeah, I watched and listened to live podcasts for quite a while before I finally called in, and I wanted to the whole time. And I finally got the nerve, and if I don't do it now, I might not ever do it. I forget who I was listening to or watching, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I stammered, I stuttered, I still stammer and stutter. But it wasn't very comfortable the first go around. The second time was not that big of a deal. Third time I ended up being on Brian's show for an hour. One day we was just talking shop talk. I've been on Zach's a couple of times. I've been on the Overtime guys. I've been here Uncensored, and I like it. I'm learning a lot about the industry just by hanging around with these guys. Not that I've ever met them and shook their hands, social distancing, but everybody has something to teach, and everybody's got something to learn. So I think this is a good format. And if y'all have any recommendations or suggestions or things that y'all are having trouble with understanding, put it in the chat. Send us an email. Get in touch with us. I've got my own YouTube channel, and you can hit me up on the email there if you have any questions. Or Hoser's going to be popping in on the next go around. He's got a nice YouTube channel where he's a master at 90% efficient furnaces, guys. Unbelievable. So I'm excited to hear some of his stories and how he troubleshoots.
Yeah, and I will once I get all this figured out, I will put all of their info to, link to their channels as well. So I want you guys to definitely go show them some love and support, because they are helping me on this. Even though this is the podcast channel and all that kind of stuff, they're helping just as much. So we'll definitely be feeding off of some videos maybe they do on their channels and different things. So definitely go go show them some love. I'm trying to.
So while he's trying, Hoser Corey is a Linux dealer. I work with a Train dealer, and I've pretty much been trained all my life. Got Gil over here who's Carrier, so we got the three major brands sewed up here in the conversations, and I don't know everything. A lot of these TAM 8s, TAM 9s, there's so much stuff on there that the settings and whatnot, I can get through them. But the industry's changing all the time, and I'm going to rely on y'all to teach me things, and y'all reciprocate and lean on us.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, don't ever be afraid to ask any kind of question. Yeah, no, I was trying to put something else up there, David. I was on a different screen. I wasn't even looking. But I won't do it now. I'm gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone. You're missing Goodman.
Well, Goodman is our second line, so if you have any questions on Goodman, let us know.
You should come on. I would love to get you on, Juan. Whether it's a podcast, a live stream, I would love to be able to talk with you, man. Just about some different things. I would love to talk to you about some of the business stuff that you do, being a small business, and even some of the technical stuff. Because I say this all the time, man, and I mean this wholeheartedly, is I think Juan's installs are some of the best installs that I see. If you don't watch out Juan's channel, which is the air conditioning guy, you can say whatever you want about Goodman. Juan makes those things look like a fucking pretty penny. I'd pay him to put one of those in my house any day. I would take it out after he leaves and put in my inverter systems, but it looks amazing. I'm just kidding. It looks amazing. But yeah, let us get going, man. We're gonna stick to an hour. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm trying to do some different things, and I'll figure it out. I always do. Sometimes it takes a little time. You never know. But email me, Juan. You can either do hvacuncensored@gmail.com, or you can text me on the podcast phone, bud, which is 443-422-1000. So here, I'll put it in here. 443-422-1000. You can text me on that number or email me at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. And I'm also going to create an email just for this show, just because I have so much other stuff coming to the podcast email. I don't want to mix in questions. So I don't have it locked up, but for right now, it's probably going to be uncensored basics@gmail.com. I will confirm that next show. And, we'll go from there. Me and Kelly are redoing our podcast website, so I will also put some information about this on our website when it's done. But this thing is, I'm having it custom built. It's costing me a small fortune, but I think it's really important. So, gonna get that done. But yep. Thank you guys all for coming out to see us. You know that I appreciate all you guys so much. If you've not already given this a like, we would greatly appreciate it. It just helps people watch this afterwards. And remember, this show is going to be every other week. If you guys would like to see this technical show every week, then, and me and Kelly still do the other stream on Tuesdays, and we move this to another night, then we'll do that. We just didn't know how it was going to happen at first. So that's why we're just going to do alternating. And if it takes off, then we'll separate them. It just sucks because a bunch of our friends that are in here have shows on different nights, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but there's only so many nights in a week, so I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, yes, thank you, Mr. Steve, for making the first show possible.
Thank you, Mr. Gill, for doing this. This is very generous of you to supply your time, share your time, and reach out to the new guys.
No, for sure.
To the basics.
I love doing this. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you guys. And Mr. Corey Hosier will be here next week. Corey, don't worry about not making it tonight. I wish your daughter a happy birthday. You enjoy her day. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate you. And as always, we'll talk at you mofos next week, all right? We'll put a little, hold on. Let's get a little.
Y'all be safe out there now.
Yeah, let me get a little. Let me see if I can find some rock. People think I'm ghetto because I've been playing, let's see here. No, that's not it. Oh, shit, hold on. My Mac decided to ask me to put the password in at the wrong time. See you, everybody.